Okay, so we are officially recording. Thanks everybody for being here. So happy you would take some time out to be here on your Tuesday evening for our monthly Team Day call. If you don't know who we are, let us introduce ourselves real quick. My name is Tricia Deming.
I'm Matt.
We're a husband and wife team. We've been doing this about,
Hi Joey.
We've been doing this about four and a half years now. So we really love this. We've enjoyed the journey quite a bit. We've had highs, we've had lows, we've had a roller coaster along the way. And so our goal is to really help you as a new pet pro, a well-seasoned pet pro, wherever you are in your pottery business. We really want to help you. And so that's why we do these calls. And it's something that's evolved over the years. You know, we certainly didn't start out able to host something like this.
It'll continue to evolve too.
Yeah, it will. It really will.
Things change and people come and go.
Yeah, so just know that we are here. We have definitely been through what you're going through, whatever stage you are at in this business. Well, I wanted to quickly share what some of our favorite things. Well, we each are going to share our favorite things.
But before we do that, quick shout out. Kathleen wanted us to give a quick shout out to Mickey Baxter, who's a new pet pro with us tonight.
And promoted
after 4 days. So
promoted after 4 days. Awesome.
Big shout out.
Good.
Way to go, Mickey.
I'm glad you're watching that. That's awesome. Okay, good.
And a big welcome to all the new pet pros. Those of you who are on for the first time tonight, welcome.
I think we have quite a few newbies. So we're glad you're here. Okay, good.
Christina.
So I'll just share really quick what one of my favorite things is, and then Matt will share his. But we just recently had our paw trip in May. We were able to go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and we got to sit on the beach and just hang out and be with other pet pros that also earned the trip. Some of you on this call were there. So we've got, who was on the trip that was there?
So
we've got Kim.
Kim was there. Kathleen was there.
Anybody else? I don't see anybody else. Okay.
No.
So we, a few of us were on there that were on this call, and this was truly my favorite thing. It suddenly clicked that this truly is a family. This whole pottery thing is honestly a family. And it's been really, really fun to get to know people on such a personal level. How many kids they have, how many, where they live, or what colleges they went to, or what experiences they've had in their life. And it just was really, really remarkable to just build friendships. And it's something that I honestly didn't expect, I guess. I just didn't expect that a pottery business would bring a whole nother family that I never even knew existed 4 years ago. So that's really what I love. I've loved the relationships that we've built. I got to learn about Kim and her rock star son. Did you know she has a rock star son that's in a band that is just rocking it, and he's amazing and in high demand and gone a lot, and I wouldn't have known that. I mean, it's just fun. Things like that you just wouldn't have known otherwise, all because of you just sitting on a beach hanging out and enjoying each other's company. So that's just one of the many things I learned. Matt, what about you?
The family relationship with Kathleen.
Yeah.
I mean, that came about because of not because of pottery, but we learned about it because of pottery.
Yep. We've got a family connection with Kathleen. Yeah. So it's been really fun. So Matt, what about you? What's one of your favorite things?
God, that's a big one. The sense of community is big, but just the opportunity to learn and grow. I mean, there really has been, for me personally, and for us, and I think for several of you, the opportunity to just learn and to grow and to discover more about yourself and overcome limiting beliefs. I love that pottery has done that for us, but truly, things like Paw Fest and Legacy, where we get to hang out face to face and enjoy the friendships that we make here, truly is I think by far the best part. There are so many great things, but that for me is the greatest.
Yeah. Yep. I would agree. So hopefully that helps you get to know us just a tad better if you don't already. And one other thing we wanted to highlight was just our goals. We like to talk about what are our goals? What are we shooting for? And so, Matt, what's our ultimate goal? What do we really want?
Ultimate goal is 3-star. We're 2-star VPs right now, and by the best case scenario this month, we want to promote.
Worst case, it'll be eventually.
Worst case, it'll be October.
Yeah, so no, I don't even know about that, but it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. But that's for those that are new pet pros, that's the highest rank that pottery has right now is 3 stars. So we're one promotion away from that. So that's a goal we've had for a while. We're excited. But just short-term goal to help us get to the long-term goal is, you want to share?
Well, yeah, as long as I'm sharing. So we made the decision last month, I think it was, to basically start over. And, because Roger has talked a lot about how those of us who have come before have been trailblazers, and what, took us 2.5 years to do, people are now doing in months. you know, the process has become simplified, the process has become easier, everything about it. And so we made a goal to basically start over and see how fast we could re-rank back up through VP status. And so we started as a brand new pet pro last month. And
we had to pretend. Let me clarify.
Yeah,
pretend.
We're pretending. I mean,
Yeah.
our rank is still what it is, but just in terms of our goals and what we were shooting for and what we were hoping for, we were pretending that we were starting brand new.
So like it was a lot of like keeping track, like new volume. And I mean, I don't want to complicate it or make it confusing, but it takes a lot of like writing things down and like seeing where we're at rather than it all being automated on the computer. Like, oh, it looks like we only need 150 more. It all was like our own calculations.
So in terms of volume, in terms of Pet Pro sponsored, yeah, we just pretended we were at zero PV, zero volume. Anyway, so we, yeah, our goal, so we reached senior pet pro and then we reached director barely at the end of the month, last month. So seriously, what took us several months, years, a year almost to do the first time around, took us 1 month this time, which was to get to director. So our goal for this month is to rank up from director to senior director.
Yeah. So, and then that's
or beyond.
Yeah, that's our minimum goal is the senior director, and then whatever happens after that is bonus. But we just thought we'd share with you just so that you know that we're doing what you're doing. You know, if you're a brand new pet pro, we are pretending the same way that you are. Like, okay, I've got to get a pet pro, and I've got to get that pet pro active, and we need new volume, 250 in new volume. So, and we'll talk more about our drive to director calls coming up here in just a sec. So I don't want to get too off topic, but just know we wanted to share our goals. Hopefully that sheds some light on what we're working towards, and that we're out there doing the work too. We don't just stand up here and say, go, 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 like we're doing it as well. So I would love to see, let's do a little bit of, this is where you can take yourself off mute and be a little interactive. I would love to hear, Matt and I would love to hear who this month has already shared a sample. Who's shared a sample with somebody?
And if you have, go ahead and take yourself off mute and share it with us.
I have.
Carolyn's not on mute. Does that mean you?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just took.
Oh, I'm like, Carolyn.
Sorry. Okay, I'll go back.
No, that's okay. Annette thinks she has, yay.
Tell us about it, Annette.
I am working, I have my chiropractor massage therapist, they're a husband and wife team, and they're huge vegans, and they feed their dog a vegan diet. And so I have been working with them to try to get them converted to at least our treats and seasonings for their dogs.
Cool.
Awesome. Yay.
Nice job.
So in your everyday life, chiropractor, love it. And I think I heard somebody else. Someone else took themselves off mute. Was there someone else that shared a sample this month?
Me.
Who's
Jen?
me? Okay,
was that
Jen?
Jen?
Okay, Jen, let's hear.
Yeah, that's me.
Who was it? Jen, it's so good to see your face. I talk to you all the time.
That I ran.
I'm sorry, we just got interrupted by our, what did you say?
I put out a Facebook advertisement on buy-sell trade sites and mailed out several right at the beginning of the month.
Awesome. Way to fill the funnel at the beginning of the month. That's great. That's an expression we use, is you fill the funnel. You know, you fill the funnel and then things kind of trickle out. And so she's filling her funnel. Good job, Jen. That's great. Anybody else want to share? Make sure I'm not missing anybody else.
Hey, Trisha.
Hey, Lauren, how are you?
I'm good. I've shared 5 samples, and I shared some dog food to an Italian greyhound who is throwing up its food, and they kept down the trout and barley I feed my dogs.
Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, there is the power of being a customer of the product, right? Because you have the products on hand, you're able to say, hey, try some of what I have. So I'm a big believer that, you know, you try as much as you can afford. Usually I tell pet pros that when they join, you know, just buy as much as you can afford so that you can be a user of the products, but also look at what that did. So Lauren, great. I'm so proud. That's awesome. So hopefully new customer coming up, right? Hopefully, fingers crossed. Good. Okay, anybody else want to share before we move on to the next question? No? Okay. Okay, so next question. Who has invited somebody to take a look at the opportunity? Kim, I see Kim raising her hand. Yeah. Annette, awesome. Joey, I know you have. Good. Anybody want to share their example? Oh, Jen, Lauren, Louise, awesome. Okay, great. Anybody want to share their story?
Experience,
Yeah,
yeah.
their experience. We're a friendly bunch.
Okay, I will. Can you
Thank
hear me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, someone else. So Kim and somebody else. So let Kim go first, and then I don't know who that was, and we'll hear who that was second. So Kim, go ahead, and then we'll.
Okay. I shared with Darcy.
Oh, yay.
She's been interested in pottery for a while, and so I called her or messenger, and I'm like, hey, it's $1 sign up. Let's do this. And I shared it with a bunch of other people that had been on the fence too. Just, get those dollar signups.
Yay. Okay, good. And Darcy's here. Look at that. Way to go. That's awesome. So congrats, Kim and Darcy both. Glad you're part of the family. Now, who did we miss? Who was it that was trying to talk? I'm watching both screens. Was there somebody else? Okay. All right. Sorry if we cut somebody off. I feel bad. So if you decide later you want to be bold and say, then speak up. Okay, Matt, by the way, Matt is jotting down everybody that's here. He's jotting down your names and putting them in a drawing, because at the end of the call, we're going to do a drawing and we are giving away a prize. And this is the prize we're giving away, The Big Leap.
This is an awesome prize.
It's a great book. I've loved it. You can see Matt loves it too. There's been a lot of notes. Well, you can't see very well, but I have a ton of notes. I have a ton of bookmarks, a lot of ahas that I've received from reading this book. I've read it twice now. It's like all wrinkly and worn out. So you're not getting this book. You're getting a brand new book. We're sending you a new book.
Yeah, if you have any self-limiting any limiting beliefs you feel like are holding you back for whatever reason, this is the book to help you get past those.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So hang with us till the end of the call, and then we'll do our drawing at the end of the call.
So I do have one quick question in regards to that. There's one person whose name is iPhone.
Oh,
I'm not sure who that is. Is that Shelley?
Yep. Hi, Shelley. And then will you just read those numbers? Like you can just read them if they win?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. If you are a phone number and have access to the chat, if yours is just a phone number on display, will you just tell us who you are? Just say, hey, it's so-and-so. And then that way we can, yeah, anyway. Okay, so.
Do you want to do recognition then?
Okay, so Mickey is the 205 number. Perfect, thank you, Kathleen. Awesome. Okay, appreciate that. It takes a village to do this. All right, should we move on? You want to move on to the next topic? Top 10 in new PV?
Yes.
Let's do that. Okay, so Matt is busy writing these names down. Thank you, Matt.
I got one more.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll let you do the top 10.
Okay.
Anything else we're missing? Okay. Okay, Carol, thanks for being here. You must be present to win the prize, so I'm sorry that she has an emergency and had to run off, but only those that are present win at the end. So.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
4270. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So
Okay.
let's go through our top 10 in new volume. This includes anybody in Kathleen's group, 90 Marie's group, and our group.
Hi, David.
I know. Hi, David. Hi, cute. So cute. Love you, David. Okay, so.
All right. So
ready?
top new
Yeah, top 10.
so this is top 10 in
new-
new personal volume.
Yeah.
For the month of August, which I believe was a record-breaking
It was
month.
awesome.
So
It was a great month.
this is a good long list. So again, top 10 in no particular order. These are just the top 10. Louise Schickel, Andrea Mickelson, Shelley Windsor, Amber Sanders, Lacey Hoppe, Kathleen Langsdale, Kim Miller, Brittany Price, Elka Bostwick, and Timothy and Christina Paulus. So
Way to go. And we
big
have,
shout out to you guys.
I know we
Way
have
to go.
Louise on the call. So way to go, Louise. We have
Shelley.
Kathleen on the call. We have Shelley on the call. We have Kim on the call. So way to go, you
Yeah.
guys. That's awesome.
So several on this call. It's great
Glad
to
you're
see.
here. It's so cool. Okay.
Then next up is anyone who sponsored a Pet Pro in the month of August. What did Roger say? We sponsored almost 130 total
Just in the
Pet
last
Pros
couple
in the
days.
month of August. Well, in the month of August.
Oh, okay.
Total of about 130. But now, one thing we learned this morning is that, yeah, for the month of September, which has consisted of what, a Saturday and a Sunday and, well, most of a Monday now, we've sponsored.
I think you said over 100, didn't he? Kathleen, do you
Yeah,
remember what
almost,
you said? Or
almost as many as we
else?
sponsored in the whole month of August so far. So That's free.
I missed that. I got on the call 10 minutes later. I mean, I thought Leanne said 80, but I don't know.
Was it 80? Is that what you're remembering, Kim? Okay. So
Okay.
I must be getting it
Well,
mixed up. So
so
wait, that's awesome.
Anyway, that's a lot when you consider it was, around 130 for the total month of August. So that's some great momentum.
So these are Pet Pros that sponsored from the 5-star team in August. Anybody that sponsored a Pet Pro will be on this list.
So again, in no particular order, Kathleen Langsdale, Louise Schickel, Kim Miller, Elka Bostwick, Amber Sanders, Niney Marie, Trella Dandridge, Lauren Light, Joey Lee, Lauren Neugebauer, Courtney Cobb, Carolyn Robbins, Brett Weber, Jen Sheffer, Barbara Williams, Laura Hafferty, and Elizabeth Scannell.
So way to go. Look
Did
at
I say
that
that right,
list.
Scannell?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So again,
So,
big shout out to you guys. Way to go.
You all sponsored a Pet Pro. So if you heard your sponsor's name, then they have tips they can share with you on how to, Marcy or Mickey.
Mickey
do you know why
Baxter,
she wasn't on the list? Thank you, Kathleen. So Mickey was not on the, do you know who else is not on here? Okay, so Mickey, let me clarify that. Thank you, Kathleen. And also Annie. I forgot Annie. Soderberg. Because they joined so late in the month, they were on my report. So like the last 3 days for some reason don't show up on reporting. So that's why they weren't on there. So thank you for clarifying that. So Mickey Baxter and Annie Soderberg were also 2 Pet Pros. If I missed anybody else, will you please let me know? Because I always feel so terrible if I miss anybody. So be sure and let me know. But thank you, Kathleen. I'm so glad you caught that. I'm sure there's a few others I missed now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm glad we at least know of those 2, but there's probably more. So I was wondering, how many Pet Pros do you think the 5-star team could add in the month of September? How many do you think? Knowing that we have the dollar promotion, what do you think? I would love to see your comments, either shout it out or throw it up in the
fast start
comments.
bonuses.
At least 100.
Oh, love it. You
At least.
Joey
Joey said the same thing. Yeah. 100.
Minimum goal, realistic 125. Stretch goal 175.
175. Okay. So I love it. I think that we are all on a similar page because right here on my list, do you think we can hit 100? It's written right there. It's probably hard to see, but I love that you're all, like, everybody said that, anybody that's commenting saying 100. So that's our minimum goal. I love it. And I think that if we hit it, we got to do something special. What can we do? We'll get creative and think of something. But it's my birthday month. September's my birthday month, so that could be a really great birthday present, right? Happy birthday! We sponsored 100 5-star team. Way to go! So let's just keep track. Let us know when you sponsor a Pet Pro. Come and tell us about it. Come and join in the celebration. And I really think we ought to have our Pet Pros introduce themselves. That's something that I think it came as a suggestion to me, and I really like that idea that they introduce themselves and say, "Hi. I'm Darcy, I just joined, I'm excited to be here, here's a couple things about myself." So maybe encourage your new Pet Pros to do that. Help them become part of the community right off the bat and feel welcome on the 5-star team page. So let's just celebrate, those that are coming, that are joining, and see how close we can get to that minimum goal and how far we can exceed it. That's what I think would be neat, is if we could exceed the 100 goal, right?
Absolutely.
So we have some tips that we really have. If we hit 150, we convince Roger to keep it at $1. Ooh, you know what? Kevin, I think you're onto something. If we could hit 100 by the 10th of September, I have a feeling he would. So what's it going to take? What is it going to take to hit 100 by the 10th of September? That's a week from now, right? It's going to take some work. That means all of us need to be talking to a lot of people between now and next week. But Kevin, I think that we could make that happen. Don't you think, Kathleen, Matt? Don't you think that if we got 100 out of this group that Roger would extend it for
with
the
as
month?
many incentives as there are this month? You bet we could.
Well, let's see. How many people do we have on the call right here?
1, 2, 3, 4, a dozen. No, 16, 20.
20. That's 5 Pet Pros per person here, and that's just us 20. There's another 60, 80, another 40 or so, or 50 more of us?
Yeah. So if we took that message to our teams and said, here's the plan, we as a team need to sponsor X amount to hit this goal by the 10th. I love that way of thinking. I think that's Jen saying, let's do it, guys. Love it. Love it. Just 1 week. We can totally do it. I know we can.
You bet.
So let's go for it. And that will be my Scout's honor. We will take it to Roger and we'll say, look, our team's really pushing for this goal. If we hit it or exceed it by the 10th, will you extend the $1? Because imagine what that would do for your team. So as you're bringing in these new people, and if we can get 100 in the team, and then we have an extra 20 days to have them enroll $1, imagine what our team will do. It explodes, right?
Yeah, Roger. In fact, Roger mentioned that on the leadership call this morning, that, you know, if we can make things so simple and duplicatable that we sponsor 5 people, then those 5 people sponsor 5 people. All of a sudden, you have 155 people in your organization, on your team. Think about that.
It could do wonders.
That could do wonders for your business. Absolutely.
So, you know, Matt and I put a lot of tools in place, and Kathleen too. We're all working together to really give you some great tools for the month to help you grow and help you be successful. Now, you all should have received an email, except for these new pet pros that weren't on my list. So we need to make sure Mickey gets that email, and Annie, that I sent this morning. But all of you, and Darcy probably too, I bet you didn't get it either. Everybody should have received an email today that just highlighted a few things that we have going on. And it's also going to be posted on the 5-Star Team page tomorrow for the What's Up Wednesday post. So a lot of different tools. There's Facebook Lives that we have. Matt's going to talk a little bit more about that. We have rank advancement calls that are every Monday, and I'll go over that a little bit. But we just are trying to put as many things in place as we possibly can to help you grow and be successful. And so one thing that I'll just highlight really fast, and then we'll kind of go into more of these details of what's up and how we can help support you, is fast start training. You know, or not even fast start training, just what do you do? If you're a brand new pet pro, well, what do you do next? Or if you just sponsored a new pet pro, well, what do I do with my new pet pro? So we wanted to highlight a couple things of what you can do with your new pet pro that we do all the time. It's a system we have in place that works really, really well. If you're one of our new pet pros on the call today, you've seen this before, it's going to look familiar. But we have a really, really strategic system, and it all starts with these 2 documents. I shared this on a tip of the day, I think it was 2 weeks ago. But these 2 documents right here, one is This Changes Everything. It's actually called the New Fast Start Guide. Okay, yeah, look, wait, right. You see it, This Changes Everything. And if we were really, really smart, we would screen share, but we're on our iPad, so it doesn't work super well.
Here, in fact, I'll hold it up to this one.
Oh, there you
so
go.
Can see.
Okay, so if you see our other picture, you can see that one. But this guide right here, this is what I pull out for, it's black and white because I don't have a color printer, because I go through these like crazy. Every new pet pro that I sponsor, I give them one of these. And it's called This Changes Everything. And it has 5 simple tasks that you do with your new pet pro. The first one is they become their own first customer. Just as Lauren explained, you know, she had some dog food on hand that she could sample with a friend that needed to try something because she had it on hand. So as much as you can afford, you ought to buy on your on Easy Ship, and you can obviously change it up every month. You don't have to buy the same thing every single time, but become your own first customer. Become your own advocate for the products. Become your own sampling machine where you have other things you can sample besides the pop pairings. So become your own first customer. Second would be fill your samples. Now, if they don't have samples, if they just literally just joined and don't have any samples, maybe you could give them some. Maybe they could borrow a few of yours until they get their kit. If they didn't get a kit because they joined under the $1, then A, you could either give them some, or B, give them the training on how to get active without having any samples. There's a document available in our back office, and it just talks about using the 3 for 30 as a tool to get active. Make your list. Here is the most important key to the entire, this whole thing. This is my number one, like nuts and bolts. If they don't have a list, they don't have, it's going to be really, really difficult. A lot of people have a list up here. A lot of people have a list right here. Who's with me? Who has a list right here in their mind? Who works off a list from their mind? A lot of us, right? Or a lot of, I used to. Yeah, Joey saying, yeah, me. Joey, not until recently, right? Joey recently, I know, filled out one of these babies. Have you ever seen one of these? This is a file that we have available in our 5-Star Team page. It's just files available to download, or you could search by 100 no's and it would pop up. But this document right here is basically my contact list. I have a whole list of people that just keeps going and going, because I have to have it written down. If I keep it up here, it gets lost. If I keep it in here, it gets lost. So that's why this piece right here make your list is the most important thing you can do with your new pet pro, or if you are a new pet pro, making that list. On the back side of this document, it actually has a place for you to fill out names, and even memory joggers right here. Who do you know that, write down family member, friends, neighbors, people at work, people at school, people at church, people that already sell to you, who sells to you, who do you buy from? It could even be your carpet cleaners. I mean, Kathleen's had so many examples of people coming to work on her furnace or her whatever, and the next thing you know, they're an Easy Ship customer. So whoever they are, write them down on this list. But this will be the backbone to your business as a new pet pro, or as a pet pro that is sponsoring a new pet pro. This is the document that I use every time. I email it to them. I hand them a physical one. I talk about it in an email, bullet points. It's just a really, really great document. So the next thing it says is learn to talk, share, and ask. And that's where the second one comes into play. This is the talk, share, ask, TSA document. It's called the new TSA flyer. So if you're trying to find it in your office library, new TSA flyer. And it just has the simple steps: talk, share, ask. 1, we talk. 2, we share. 3, we ask. And it just has a few tidbits of what talk means, what share means, what ask means. So we won't go into all those details. I just really wanted to highlight these documents and how they are your best friends when you sponsor. It's the most important thing you can have in the beginning. Anything I'm missing, Kathleen, Matt, Kim, anybody that was on the call today?
One thing that we do, we talked about this earlier today, is that when you're sponsoring a new pet pro, Tricia mentioned that one of the first things you want to ask them to do is create that list. It's sort of the lifeblood of your business to begin with and throughout. And one thing we do is sort of incentivize that list. So, as a sponsor, there's a difference between enrolling, and we learned about this earlier today too. There's a difference between enrolling and sponsoring. Enrolling, you're signing someone up and they never hear from you again. We don't like being on the receiving end of that, neither does anybody else. Where sponsoring, you're actually teaching and leading and mentoring and coaching. And one of the things we do, or that we say to new pet pros when they sign up, is start your list. And then send us a picture of that list. And then we can work on them in following up on that list. But for sending us a picture of that contact list, we'll send them a prize. Nothing huge, something small, something simple, but just something to incentivize the fact that they'll create that list and then work with us to work down that list.
Yeah. So Kevin, I'm reading your note and it says, I used to, it didn't work. So I would love to hear more on that, because if there's something, you can even take yourself off mute, and I would love to answer what you're talking about here. But it is in our library. Both these documents that we showed, they're just called New Fast Start Guide, New TSA Flyer. So Kevin, what's up? But tell me more about what you're saying.
Oh, no, I used to try to keep a list in my head.
Oh.
I'll remember to talk to this person. Oh, this is a good person to talk to. I'll remember to talk to them. And it just got, too overwhelming. So that's what I was saying. I used to do it that way, and it doesn't work.
Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying.
If you're like me, my head can only carry so much information, and the rest just sort of disappears.
So
there's so much air. There's so much air in my head, so I can't fill it.
Exactly.
It's already filled.
So on this list, I showed this list again on tip of the day that we do usually every Tuesday. I shared this list. This was my 100 no's list. But do you see this one right here? There's a girl and her name's Amber, and there's a circle by it. And I was like, Amber, and it says maybe, like maybe she wants to do what? Be a customer. I didn't write good enough notes. You would think I would have it all up here, but here I am looking at the note, just thinking like, Amber, who is this? What? Anyway, so it's really important to write the name down and take better notes than just maybe with a question mark next to it. I'm like, well, so I called her today, Amber, hey, how's it going? I left a message and told her about the $1 sponsor. I'm hoping that she'll call me back. I'm like, I don't remember you, but anyway, I have you down here.
It's also just a nice visual way to keep track of, like Tricia mentioned, your follow-ups.
Yeah.
Did you call and leave a message? Did you send a text? Did you actually make contact? It's a nice way to keep track of how you approached or engaged with someone as well.
Yeah. So any questions, if you have any, please put them in the chat or feel free to take yourself off mute. We're going to kind of dive into
Tricia.
Oh yeah, yes.
Just one real thing. I was looking at a report, so if you said it, I missed it, and I apologize. But and I mentioned on the call today, mention, maybe not push it real hard, but mention that new pet pros start the training.
Yeah.
Just because I think that there's so much just the basics of what to do.
Yeah. And there's points on the table, right? If they finish their training, there's those.
Yeah, in 30 days, but I think, they get their pop, because here's what happens. If they don't, home office starts hounding them about set up your account, set this, do, and they're like, what are you talking about? All these emails. But if you go to the training, that information is some of the first modules that you hit.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Like, how do I get paid?
Right.
Oh, yeah, great clarification, because that's not on here. That's not one of the 5. So I like that. I really do like that a lot. In fact, my email that I send to new pet pros, and I'd be happy to send you a copy of it. If any of you would like a copy of my blanket email that I send, yes, okay, perfect. All right, I'm getting thumbs up. Okay, I'd be happy to. I'll send that. I'm wondering how the best way to do that. Maybe PM, well.
To do what? Sorry, I was
to send an
chat.
email of my blanket email. Okay, why don't you send me a PM? That way I don't miss anybody, okay? So send me a PM saying I would like an email. I would like the email of the what I send to new pet pros. And it basically has 5 steps. And they're similar to it's like they're getting the same messaging everywhere. Everyone's saying.
Just respond in the chat, actually.
Okay.
Versus a PM.
Okay, but I don't think we have access to the chat after. That's why I was thinking. So do you want to just write down who wants that script? Thanks. Matt's so helpful. Okay, so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm giving the same messaging over and over and over again. When I talk to them, when I'm sponsoring them, we're going over this sheet and I'm saying, okay, first, become your first customer. Second, okay, let's fill your samples, or your samples will come and this is how you do it, but here's some to get you started. And all right, make your list, let's go through. And I physically sit there with them. If I'm sponsoring them in person or even on the phone, I have them fill out at least 10 right there on the spot. And I say, okay, tell me about these people and how do you know them? And I want to get to know them a little bit. And then I say, great, let's go over some scripts, some words to say of how we can talk to these people. And then let's get after it. Let's give a call to that first person. So I've talked about it in person or over the phone. Then I send them an email, and the email is very redundant. It's almost exactly what we said. Hey, first, become your own first customer. And then I also talk about the training. So to Kathleen's point, step number 2, we've got training. Do it. I highly recommend you do your training. There's 2,000 points on the table. If you miss out, blah, blah. So I talk about the training. And then third, I talk about connecting on Facebook. Join the community, be part of our team, learn everybody or just get to know everybody there. So I have very specifics, but I also say there's some attachments here, and they are your guide. They are your guide for these first few months. You and I will talk often, but these are your guides. And it's these same documents, the same ones that I gave them in person, that we went through over the phone. So they're just hearing this over and over and over again. So it makes it very duplicatable. And if they're a self-starter, they don't know what to do. They'll get after it because they have everything right there. So I'll send you that email. We're kind of going lengthy. Sorry, usually we keep it to 30 minutes. So
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. Darn. So any questions to this point or anything else? Kathleen, anything else you can think of that we're missing? Otherwise, we'll just dive
No,
in.
I think we're good.
Okay, then let's just dive into these three great things we have up for you. Okay, so Facebook Live events. Now here's some really important training. Yeah, you want to? Are you almost? I can go to the rank advancement. Let me talk about rank advancement. Okay, I'm going to talk about rank advancement groups, and Matt's going to talk about the Facebook. So rank advancement. If you are looking to rank advance, just as Matt and I said, our goal was to rank advance. We're pretending like we're a brand new pet pro. We know what to do. We know what it takes. And so if you're looking to paw up and get any of these paw up bonuses, then, or even just if you're in your fast start and you have some fast start bonuses, if you want to just have a restart, start over again, whatever it is, I don't care if you're a brand new pet pro or if you've been in for 4 years like us, there's room for you in this group. But the idea is it's going to be all things rank advancing. And so I sent, again, that was in the email today that you all should have received. But if you have any interest in joining that group, that Facebook or the Zoom group, let us know. They start next Monday. And the timing, I'd love your input here. The feedback I always get is later is better. So we were doing it at 8 or 9 Central, 9 p.m. Central, which means 10 p.m. Eastern. They won't be terribly long. It's a group coaching, so it's more interactive and And so if you feel that time is a conflict, please let me know. But I really have always heard later is better. So I figured we would give that a try. So 8 p.m. Our time, 9 p.m. Central, starting next Monday, and it's group coaching. So it'll be similar to this format, but much more interactive. And Matt and I will do some training, and Kathleen will just all kind of talk about rank advancing and how to do it, how to get there. What do you do? What do you need to do? What's next? So it's really, really, it's powerful and effective if you do the work. So join us if you have any interest in doing that. We'd love to have you. Okay, Jen, awesome. Perfect. Okay. Anybody else? Be sure you just comment, and I'll add you to the list. All right. You want to talk about?
All right. Yeah. So another tool that we are utilizing is the Facebook Live events, and I don't know who has or hasn't been, attended or watched any of the past Facebook Live events, but mark your calendars, because we're going to start doing them every Tuesday and Thursday, beginning September 6th, which is this Thursday. So 2 days from today. We'll follow the same format. We'll highlight products and the opportunity, but most importantly, it's a really great way to grow your business. So the way to go about it is to personally invite 1 to 2 guests, and then once you do that, if you get a verbal commitment from or a verbal RSVP that they'll be there, then you can go ahead and add them to the Facebook group that we do the event through. And the link to that is in the email that Tricia sent this morning as well. But it's not a group that you just willy-nilly add everybody as soon as you talk to them. It's really only something we want you to add them to if you get a verbal commitment that they're going to attend the Facebook Live. Let's see. So the time for that, again, it'll be every Tuesday and Thursday, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Central. So that will be 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mountain. And
I think we lost Trisha and Matt.
Yeah, I thought it was just me. I'm glad you said that, Carolyn.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No. I took me off mute because I don't hear them anymore. They're just like
Okay, can you guys hear us now?
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up if you can hear us.
Yep.
Okay, all right, there we go. Sorry, the iPad just died, so now we're
It's like
just closed the meeting. Anyway, so again, every Tuesday and Thursday, the time, I'll backtrack just a little bit in case you missed what I was saying before, that the time is 7:30 p.m. Central. So that would be 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mountain, 5:30 West Coast. And again, we'll share the opportunity, we'll share the products. It's a quick 30 minutes. But again, if you have a guest, invite them to it, and only invite them to add them to the group so that they can view it if you get a verbal commitment. There will be some drawings. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be very interactive, and
to Kevin's point though. So Kevin has a great question. So don't add until they watch the live. So no, because we'll be going live from that group page, But what we're saying is don't add them
until you get a commitment.
A commitment, like yes, I can be there, because we don't want to just add. We want people to say, yeah, sure, I'd love to attend. Because I think we all can agree we've been added to groups that we didn't ask to be added to, and it gets spammy, and that is the last thing we want to do. We want to keep a good name of Pottery and not be a spammy.
So Annette asks if some of them can be a little bit later. Maybe we can stagger them because West Coast folks are commuting at 5:30.
Yeah, the only conflict we have with Thursdays is that it cuts into the training call. So, and we thought having a consistent time made it a lot easier. But we'll see if we can do like a Saturday or something like that. If that would help, then we would do a Saturday event.
Or maybe the Tuesday one we can do later than the Thursday.
Yeah, we'll have to address that because
we'll look into that,
so,
Annette. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just up to me and Tricia. There are others involved as well.
So okay.
A great question.
Yeah, great question. Okay, so any other questions around that? I'm glad you guys have questions. I'm really glad that we had 2 electronic devices going so that we didn't just cut you all off. Jeez. technology. It can be so great and then so frustrating.
So yeah, just as we wrap it up here, another quick reminder, we do tip of the days each Tuesday. Trisha goes live. What time do you do that at, Trish?
That's 10 a.m. my time, so that's 11 Central. It's easier to go on Central time. Unless you're Mary. Poor Mary, what time is it for you, Mary? Is it middle of the night, early morning? What time? Mary's over.
It is 10:45 in the morning.
Oh, we can't hear you. 7:45 in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Wednesday morning here.
Okay, I can't hear you. For some reason, oh, it's because this. There, say it one more time. Sorry.
That's okay. It's Wednesday morning, 10:45.
Okay, it's 10:45.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? So
that
she's,
is crazy,
you know,
yeah.
here you are. She's overseas. She's one of the lucky military wives. So we're glad you're here with us. Glad you take the time to be here. But so we always do Central. Seems like that's easier. What did you say? Sorry.
I said I'm glad I'm here too.
Yeah, glad you're here. So that's 11 a.m. Central every Tuesday. Kathleen sometimes will host. Matt, we're trying to get him to host. He just has conflicts with meetings and things. But yes, we love that tip of the day. It's usually short and sweet. So.
And then, yeah, remember our goal, guys. The challenge this month. Can we hit 100 Pet Pros? Can we do it? Can we beat it?
I think it'd be fun. With all these tools in place, I think it's really...
We'll think of a fun way to celebrate and announce it if we can hit it. That would be awesome.
Okay, Jen saying yes, we sure can. Annette saying yes. Okay, I think we can do it too. I love that you've simplified it, Kathleen, that, you know, we've got 20 people here, so that's, you know, 5 people each. Plus, if we take it to our teams, it can be even more than that.
All right, should we do a drawing?
Let's do our drawing. Thank you so much for sticking around, for being patient. And Beth, I see you one in the group. Will you just clarify? I want to make sure that it's Beth Millman or if it's a different Beth, because we have a few Beths.
Yeah,
so
which Beth is on the line? Just comment.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get you the right info for the group coaching.
Okay. All right, got the pottery mug.
Oh, good. See, I'm glad I asked. It's a different Beth. Okay.
Ostheimer.
Okay, thank you.
I'll write that down.
I'm so glad I asked. Beth, you would have been like, hey, where's my info? Okay, I'm writing it down right now. Oh, Jen, she's your new pet pro. Okay, so glad that we clarified then. Okay, good.
Okay.
Beth, welcome. Glad you're here.
All right, Trish.
Okay, ready? Here's who gets the big leap.
The big leap.
I hope somebody's like really, really wanting this. Okay, here we go. I got a name. It's jumping out. Annette!
All right, Annette Lanker.
Oh, is she still here? Yeah, she's still here.
Yeah.
Right? There she is. Okay,
yep.
Good. All right, yay!
Okay, Annette, the big leap coming your way.
We're going to Amazon it to you. Okay.
And for those who didn't win, if you're interested, highly recommended reading, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks.
It's really good. I have it on Audible and this, so it's a great read. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you hanging around this long. We're excited for you and for this month. So much great stuff up for grabs. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We really want to help you succeed. And as we said in the beginning, we've been there, we've done that, I promise. So if you have a will, there is a way to make it through this. So hang in there, and let's have September be a rockin' month, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, take care.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.